Islam, Shalom, Hotep, Assalamu Alaikum, Oseo, Tribe. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live and in full effect from Northwest Gate, Al Marak, Maghrib, Mexum, Morocco, America. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and do that. Hit the notification bell, give me the thumbs up, interact with the content, comment, dislike, just interact. Moorish Nationality Navigations, if you're in the Northern Virginia Territory, Maryland Territory, DC, District of Columbia, and if you'd like to link up, meet up with me for the study group or for the Moorish Chess Club, just reach out to me. Those details will be down there. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, those details will be down below. Let's see. Let's get into it. I want to drop some degrees on y'all today. Some degrees. I just want to start off by saying it's difficult fighting what you cannot see. All right, I want that to sink in. It's difficult fighting what you can't see with your eyes, like racism, white supremacy, systems of control. Fighting against those things that you just can't see with your naked eye. It's a tough fight, but it's a fight that has to be fought nonetheless. More food for thought. I want to start off by saying money. Now, when you look up the definition of what money is, a lot of people think that it's the bills that we have or the coinage that we have in our wallets or the money in our bank account or something like that. All right, when you look up the definition of money, it pretty much lets you know in the Constitution that money is only gold and silver. So gold and silver coins, bars, like that. It says that's what money is, gold and silver. So how do we come to using these like bills of exchange, this legal tender, this fiat? The Federal Reserve Act. Check out what that is if you never heard of it. What's the Federal Reserve Act? Who is the Federal Reserve? Are they really federal at all? No, they're not. They're not federal at all. They're pretty much as federal as FedEx, Federal Express. They're not federal. But the name sounds official. Word games. All right, so the Federal Reserve is an international private entity of international banking systems that pretty much runs different governments all over the world through their banking systems. A private banking system, which for profit. All right, just to get that, under the fez. Fiat. What exactly is fiat? All right, I said legal tender, bills of exchange, stuff like that. Okay, so fiat. Okay, all those $1 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, $20 bills, $50 bills, even $100 bills. All right, take heed that I'm using the word bill. We all know what bill means. A bill is pretty much a record of a debt. All right, so that's pretty much how our monetary system works in this capitalist society. Money is created through debt. Debt is money. Money is debt in this system. So in order for you to get something, you have to put a debt on somebody in order to get something in exchange. That's not gold or silver. So we're still talking about legal tender, fiat, pretty much negotiable instruments, pretty much things that are not real. that have like no real monetary value. You go back to like real monetary value, like I said, gold and silver, coinage, natural resources, land. You know, those are tangible things that actually have value that pretty much only increase with time. So you can call those assets, not liabilities. All right, moving along here, just going through these things. Commercial paper. All right, so that's the legal tender. That's the legal tender I'm talking about. The bills of exchange that are in your wallet that we're using now, credit cards, all that stuff. All right, if you pay attention to before the stimulus came out, President Donald Trump and the Secretary of the Treasury made a statement, and they were saying how they were going to stimulate the economy with like 2 trillion in fiat commercial paper. Now, if you look at that interview again more closely, they don't say money. They literally say commercial paper. All right, so that's pretty much the stuff that our currency is printed on, this commercial paper, and it's then monetized. You know, it's created by the Federal Reserve. It's pretty much just printed. They're just printing paper, and it's monetized just to, you know, stimulate the economy to get it moving. For currency, and currency is energy. When you think about it, currency is energy, either in form of, like, when you think about water, how water moves, and it's called a current. Or electricity, how it moves through wires, it's called a current, which is energy. So it kind of, you know, that goes a little bit further into what I want to go into. But some of you Moors with more degrees, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I start speaking on, you know, that level. So let's keep moving along here. All right, I already went over legal tender is not money. The bills in your wallet, the coinage that we use, they replaced all the like the metal coins during the Federal Reserve Act. They replaced all the metal coins that were like gold and silver, the dimes, the nickels that used to be made out of nickels, the dimes and the quarters that used to have silver in them, no longer have silver in them. They're like some chrome metal base. Pennies used to be made out of copper. Pennies aren't made out of copper anymore. So, you know, they're all pretty much useless metals, you know, that are just, you know, floating around in society. The papers, the legal tenders, they're just, you know, legal tender. They're just Federal Reserve notes. They're fiat. It's not real. Now, if you look at some of the older currency, some of like the older bills of exchange, you can see that some of those bills would have redeemable at any bank for the amount of gold or silver. So it would be like a silver certificate or a gold certificate. All right, so the bills of exchange that we're using now, they're just legal tender. They only buy what, you know, what they say they can buy. They're not exchangeable or interchangeable at any bank anywhere for the equivalent of gold or silver, which means it is not legal money when it comes to the laws of this land, which are the Constitution for the United States of America Republic. All right, so once you get that under your fez, and don't forget, I'm talking about fighting systems that we cannot see, things that we can't see. Now, all this is going on, whether or not you know about it or not, but it's going on and it's controlling your life. All right, moving along. Breaking down capitalism, breaking down, you know, this monetary system that we're in, the Federal Reserve. This is really important. Pretty much what prompted this video was I started seeing posts that like different like restaurants or like fast food places were posting signs on like where you place your order saying that please have exact change or use credit card or debit cards, because the Federal Reserve banks are limiting the amount of cash that these establishments are able to withdraw in order to, conduct their daily business transactions. You know how businesses make deposits, and they do their exchanges in order to get the bills that they need, smaller bills, in order to keep them in the register and stuff like that. So pretty much those signs are saying that, please have exact change, or if you don't have exact change, to use a credit card or a debit card, which is moving further into the paperless society. So when you think about a paperless society, most of the currency, or the fiat, the legal tender that is in the system, only about 3% of it is actual physical cash. 3% is physical cash. So the rest of it are just numbers and zeros on a computer screen, numbers and zeros inside the banking computers, stuff like that. Is just the debt and credit system, pretty much. So if only 3% of that is actual physical cash, and they just stimulated the society with that $2 trillion commercial paper stimulus, which another one of those might be coming very, very shortly, just to stimulate the society. So the stagnation that was caused by the COVID pandemic, when a lot of people were out of work, a lot of people couldn't move around freely, that stagnated the society, which means like energy wasn't moving around, the currency was not flowing. So it goes back to what I was saying, that energy, which is the money, which keeps this system moving, which makes the wheels turn. So, people who are like essential workers had to still go to work every single day, try to make ends meet, and pretty much decide whether to put their health at risk, or to, continue to go to work in order to, try to provide. Yeah, it's just really going in a negative direction right now. And I want to get my people ahead of the curve, or at least in the know, so we can start properly planning in order to prevent, just in case the system does collapse and the petrodollar, the US dollar does disintegrate, it does disappear, because there are some really big countries like China and Russia that have dropped the US dollar as their reserve currency. So they're actually switching to a gold-backed monetary system, which is how it was originally. If you look at Muammar Gaddafi, he was trying to create a banking system, a central banking system for Africa that was backed by the gold coinage, by like a gold coinage and the natural resources of the land, which would have bankrupt the United States. So that's very, very important. Anybody in the international community, in the financial community that's paying attention to what's going on, most likely they already know the bells and whistles, the stock market bubble, how a lot of people were how a lot of CEOs were pulling their funds out of the stock market before the COVID pandemic hit. All these people are patched into the financial systems. And like I said, it's moving forward to the cashless society. It's mostly numbers and zeros on screens. Most people who do have the actual finance, the actual wealth of nations, which are gold and silver, man, they have it hoarded. It's locked away under lock and key. They have guards stationed around it 24 hours. This gold is like disappearing. I was also hearing stuff about in the international community, as far as like the Queen has been brought up on charges. There's a huge case going on with like human organ trafficking and human rights violations. AI, the AR technologies, the AI technologies being used to kill people. Weapons of mass destruction, human rights violations, genocide, bioweapons, a lot of stuff like this has been going on, and they're being brought up on international charges as we speak. So that's why a lot of things haven't really been moving forward. A lot of stuff has been at a standstill. They've been pushing back deadlines more and more and more. But I just want to make sure that my people are in the know when it comes to how this paperless society is moving forward, the cashless society. You know, how it's like some countries are moving back to the gold standard, how the US dollar is dropping, the Federal Reserve. Trump was actually trying to make the Federal Reserve like an actual part of the government. He was trying to nationalize the Federal Reserve. They still need to hear more on that, exactly what happened and what's going on in regards to that. Let's see, I still have a little more here. All right, I just want to let you know that it's important to have an understanding of the words that are being used, like the words legal, like legal tender, versus the word lawful. Okay, I just want to break it down to you. If you look at history, slavery was legal, but in any point in history, at any point in history, slavery has never been lawful. Now, in points in history, it was legal, but it was never lawful. I just wanted to let you know that when it comes down to legalese, legal and lawful, two completely different things. Moving. All right, I just want to talk a little bit on Social Security. All right, most people think about Social Security as something that just naturally, automatically comes out of your paychecks. The government automatically, Uncle Sam automatically takes that out. Social Security. All right, but let's break this down. Social Security. All right, so securing society, pretty much. Securing society. So, you pay into Social Security all your life while you're working, and then by the time you're too old to continue to work, Social Security is supposed to take care of you, right? Social Security is supposed to take care of you once you're too old to work. Hence, society is taking care of like the elderly, people who are unable to work and stuff like that. All right, so you pay into this system your entire life. Every day you're working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, something like that, and they're taking that out. So the taxes you file at the end of each year has nothing to do with that. So this number is supposed to be accumulated for when you retire. So pretty much you're paying yourself automatically. You're paying yourself for when you're no longer able to work for all the years that you have worked. Okay, so those are the benefits. Life expectancy for so-called black men in this country, very, very short. So let's just X that out. Most black men don't live long enough to, so-called black men don't live long enough to collect Social Security. The health crisis, diabetes, sickle cell anemia, stuff like that. High blood pressure, things that allegedly affect the so-called black community more. Cutting, once again, our life expectancy short, which means there are less elders to collect this Social Security that they have paid into all their lives. Do you get where I'm going with this? Do you see? You're funding a system that's not benefiting you. You're funding a system that has never benefited you. You're funding a system that at this moment, people who have already paid into the systems, their Social Security is drying up. Their Social Security is being drained. Their Social Security is being used to fund different debts that this country has, that the government of this country has accumulated. Do you understand? So you're still paying into a system. You're still being forced to pay into a system that is not benefiting you in the least. So by the time you're old enough to collect, it's not there. It's already not there for the majority of people who should be getting it as we speak right now. So why isn't this voluntary? Why isn't paying this tax voluntary? I wonder. See, perpetuating the system that's not meant for you. I want to keep on moving. All right. Social Security is a tax on a collateral, which is human capital. All right. So pretty much, when they create a Social Security number and they issue it to your corporate fiction after the Social Security, after the birth certificate is signed and it is like registered with the state, and the vital statistics of that state and the federal government, they issue, that corporation, that entity, a Social Security number, and that is used to monetize you. All right, so you can go to the IRS website, check out information on the Social Security that was issued to your person. You can go there and check out the monetization of it. So pretty much they're monetizing it. You can check out how much money they calculate you are worth, how much your earning potential, stuff like that. So pretty much it's all connected to this Social Security, this number that was generated to keep track of you and how much money that you can generate for this system throughout your entire lifetime. That's what it breaks down to.